Learnguitartunes, Jack here as always. New lesson today then, Ed Sheeran, 18. My third Ed Sheeran video. Can't wait to show you this video, this lesson. I think you're going to really enjoy it. So I'm going to teach you the rhythm and the chords. This lesson is literally teaching you everything you need to know about Ed Sheeran, 18. I hope you like it. Let's get on with the lesson. So Ed Sheeran, 18. Great song. Capo, fret number 2, okay? And those of you who don't have capos, you really need to go and get a capo. So capo, fret 2. So let's quickly work on the intro, the strumming, the little intro riff before we get on to the verse. So the intro starts off with a G, and what he's doing is he's doing a normal G in the sense that he's got his middle finger on the 3rd fret of the E, and then the index finger comes down on the 2nd fret of the A. But then he's bringing in his pinky and his ring finger on the E and the B of the 3rd fret. Kind of like. So he's bringing those two in there and then he's doing his G. A bit like Wonderwall, if you can play Wonderwall. That's the first chord. G. The next chord after the G for the intro is a C. It's a very quick change that he's doing, okay? So this is probably more for the slightly higher than a beginner, let's say. So that's a C, then back to G, okay. And the other chord in this intro is what is known as a G stroke F sharp. So what you're doing is you're staying in your G shape in essence. You lift those two fingers, keep your pinky and your ring finger down on the E and the B of the 3rd fret. Just bring your index finger on the 2nd fret of the E, and that's an F sharp note. So let's run through the intro. So it's G first of all, and this is the count of 3 before then he goes into that C. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, C. Back to G. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then back to G. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the last chord he plays before going into the verse is this G stroke F sharp chord. Alright, now for those of you who are finding that 1, 2, 3, 4 C chord change very quick to the G chord change, a bit too difficult, because he is doing it in a matter of a second, you can just do what is known as a chord which is called a C additional 9. So you keep your fingers in this shape, 1, 2, 3, 4. You just drop exactly the same G shape, but you drop it down to covering now the 3rd fret of the A, 2nd fret of the D, and keeping these two here on the E and the B, C additional 9. So you can do this. And that way your fingers stay in this shape at all times. So let's move on to the verse. So the verse starts off with a G. It says, white lips, pale face, breathing in snow. Bringing in that G stroke F sharp chord there. Snow. So on the word snow, snow, and then at the end of the word snowflakes, the word flakes, he's bringing in an E minor. Snowflakes. So the E minor we're playing, index finger, 2nd fret, A string, middle finger, 2nd fret, D string, and then again pinky and B covering the 3rd fret there across the E and the B. So it's like that. So your shape remains here. White lips, pale face, breathing in snowflakes. Okay. Then it's a very quick change to this C additional 9 chord. Burnt lungs, on the lungs, burnt lungs, sour taste. Then back down to C additional 9. then he goes straight into the singing again. So it's quite fast. Let's run that through again. White lips, pale face, breathing in snow. E minor, flakes, burnt lungs, sour taste. 2, 3, 4, drop down. Then back up to the G straight away. Lights gone, days end, struggling to pay. E minor, rent, long nights, strange men. I really hope that helped. I really hope that's clear. So now on to the chorus, and this is where it can get a little bit tricky for some people. There's a lot of change going on here. So the chorus starts off with an A minor 7 chord. So it's like your standard A minor, but without your ring finger. You've just got your index finger on the B, and I use my middle finger coming up on the D of the 2nd fret. Along the chorus line it's, they say she's stuck in the class, and on the word the class, I bring in my pinky here on the 3rd fret of the high E. So like this, here's the A minor 7. They say she's stuck in the class, like that. Okay, so I bring in that pinky. Then I carry on holding pinky down in this A minor 7 shape, and I bring in my ring finger to make a C with pinky on. Class of A-team, and that's the word A-team there. So it's a standard C major with pinky on the 3rd fret of the E. Again, if you can't bring in pinky, just don't play it with. So you can do this if you're struggling with that pinky on there. And they say she's stuck in the class 18. Right, so no pinky. Okay, so just a normal C. For those of you who are confident, they say she's stuck in the class 18. So you're hitting 3 chords quite fast in a small space of time. So after that C, stuck in her daydream. G again with the ring finger and pinky. Stuck in her daydream. She's been this way since 18. Now, this chord here is called a D stroke F sharp. Similar to your G F sharp, we're bringing in this F sharp note here, 2nd fret of the low E, okay? But this time, in the chorus, it's a D chord. So you play a normal D chord, and then I bring in my thumb up there. Now that is really hard, I can completely vouch, that's not an easy thing to do. So if you want to, you can train yourself to play it like that. I think that's how Ed Sheeran plays it. So what you're going to be doing is you're playing a D, but using your pinky, and then bringing your index finger onto that F sharp. So you'd have to do it this way. Middle finger, G string, 2nd fret, ring finger, E string, 2nd fret, pinky, B string, 3rd fret, so there's your D, and then index finger onto that E there of the 2nd fret, bringing in that F sharp. Now if you're struggling with that, just play a normal D. D's fine. So let's cover everything we've done so far, and I'll go through the rest of it. They say she's stuck in the pinky class C 18. Ready for the G? Stuck in her daydream. Now for the D. Been this way since 18, and lately her A minor 7 face seems slowly wasting. C crumbling like G pastries, and they scream. Here comes the D. Worst things in life come free to us. Alright, so they say she's stuck in the class 18. Stuck away, D since 18, and lately A minor 7 her face seems pinky, slowly sinking, C wasting, G crumbling like pastries. Ready for the D, they scream the worst things in life come free to us. For the next bit of the chorus, cause she's just under the upper hand, it's meant for a couple of grams, that bit. So as soon as you've done the D, and they scream the worst things in life come free to us, you go straight into this next part of the song, cause she's, and then the chord is an E minor. Now I go back to the E minor where I'm covering it like that with my pinky and ring finger, like this, okay? So it's E minor, cause she's just under the upper hand, there's that C additional 9 again, and G. She goes mad for a couple of grams, and she don't wanna go outside tonight. I have seen him do the transition, let me show you. Cause she's just under the upper hand, goes mad for a couple of grams. There's the transition jump. And it's too cold to go outside, G again. And this time, instead of doing that jump, he does a D for angels. And it's that same D again with the F sharp note coming in. For angels to fly. 2, 3, 4. For angels. Then he does this transition jump. For angels to fly. 2, 3, G, 2, 3, ripped gloves, do, and so on. Okay, so just to quick cover the second chorus. It goes on a little bit longer. For those of you who know the song really well, I'll just quickly do it from this part. And in the pipe, she flies to the motherland. Then G sells love to another man. E minor again. And it's too cold to go outside. Here comes the D for angels to fly. And then back to A minor 7 very quickly. An angel will die. That part. So it's for angels to fly. A minor 7. Angel will, straight into C. Die. Covered in white. E minor. I tend to play it actually this time without, because it's a quick change. So I just whack in, just covering the A and the D on the second fret. Without, like that. Covered in white. And then it goes into G. Closed eye hoping for a better life. Back to A minor. This time we'll fade out tonight. C. Straight down the line, E minor, and then it ends and the pauses on that D, and then he goes into the chorus again, but this time he does it really slowly and it's lovely. Okay, so for the chords, the last bit I really need to cover for the chords is the very, very end of the song. And then for the end, when he pretty much, instead of sings it, he kind of speaks it. For angels to die. So that last line of the whole song is a C for angels, and then G to die.